Hi, my name's John Cordy, and I'm the Fig Doctor, obviously. Right, today is Friday and we talk about chords. So, after I did that Jakob Roll tune, Copenhagen, or Copenhagen, however you want to say it, Will asked me if I'd look at Nir Felder's tune Bandits. I've checked out this tune, there's quite a lot going on with it and a lot of different sections, but I thought I wanted to break down the introduction first, before we move on to some other things, and just talk about what is going on with this introduction. In terms of actual chords, it's relatively simple. So we've got an open E, an octave E, and a G sharp, and then G sharp and a B. So we're moving between those two, and then there's one other shape, which is like an A, E, A. So those are basically the first chords you're going to need to figure out what's going on in the intro. So nothing too complicated. What is complicated about this tune is the timing of it, and what I'd like to sort of describe it as is kind of triplets, something like that, you know, with a clear feel of 3, but with the occasional thing that's not 3. In terms of writing this out, you could think about maybe writing it in 15/8, so 15 quavers, and then also some occasional bars of other stuff, so 15/8 and then mostly bars of 16/8. I spoke to the doctor, Dr. Jake Wilson, and he suggested that in terms of writing out in a simple way, writing it out in kind of measures that were shorter, like a 9/8 and 6/8 and 7/8, probably make more sense from the point of view of being clear with intention. So when you're playing this riff, for me, I definitely don't think I'd be counting it, I'd be sort of feeling my way through the riff, if that makes sense. So the first bar goes like this. Or the first 2 bars, sorry. So pay attention to the right hand as well. So we go, there's 3, and again 3, and then jump from the E to the G sharp, and then the shift. So and then 2 more triplets there. So in total that comes to 15 quavers. So you could think about it as 5 kind of groups of triplet, 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 triplet. And that would be how I would practice this before moving on. Just really nail down each tiny section and figure out that you've got that. The next bar does this. So it's the same again, but we add in this kind of major 7 of the E at the very top, so a D sharp, and you'll notice that there's 1 extra note there. So for this section we've actually got 16 quavers in these 2 bars, or however you want to think about it, but we've got this triplet kind of thing happening, so for me it makes sense to kind of write it out in terms of groups of 3. So something like that. So the first kind of 2 sections go like this together.
Can you quiet them down a bit, please?
So the first section, then the next section we again start on the E, but we're going to play an E and an A on the 7th fret, and then a shift again to that. So we've got a B there and an A. Same picking pattern, and then a shift to here, so the 9th fret, a B and an A. Extra notes. So slowly it should sound like this. So I'll just play these 2 bars, so this is bar 5 and bar 6, just on repeat. Slower. So at the end there, down to the E, up to the D sharp, down to the E, B, and an F sharp. And then it repeats that again. So that's all the same, and then we get 3 more notes at the end. So whoop. So then whoops, just kick the camera. Something like that. Okay, and so the way that this loops back around is instead of... So the way that this loops back around is that instead of starting the next kind of start of the phrase again as you actually started with a high E, you actually started with this high E, and aside from that it's identical each time. So you go like this. So I'll try and play it through slowly. So it's a real kind of mission to try and get this together, but I think you'll probably find it quite fun if you do want to dig into this. Just bear in mind that it kind of loops around with that low E instead being on the high E, and that's the way you can get it to join up. real roast, but something that I think is worth trying out and learning for the sake of the kind of timing, but also the right hand workout, and also those little bits of intricacy which I think sound really cool. But yeah, let me know how you get on with that. The tab for it I'll put up on my Patreon for that main riff, and I'm going to break down some bits that happen later in the tune as well, but I thought this intro was the thing that was really giving me trouble, so I thought I'd just share that. Kind of thing. Anyway, super difficult for me. I wanted to share that. That's something I'm going to spend some time kind of working on and trying to figure out. I think quite kind of fun to play around with. Hopefully that's vaguely useful for you, Will. As I say, the tab for it will be up on Patreon for this first bit, and I'm going to break down some more of it later on as I've worked out some more bits of it. But Nir Felder, this is the first real tune that I've ever looked at of his. Let me know if this was at all interesting, or if there's any bits of the tune that you want broken down further. But that's basically what's going on there. So simple chord wise, and then these. It's relatively simple chord wise, but the timing of it is really what's the trick and sort of the picking. Anyway, a real roast. I'm finding a lot of kind of challenges in, but something worth checking out, I think. Hopefully that was vaguely interesting. If you wanted to like and subscribe, you could. Most Fridays there's a chord lesson or two. Last week we looked at some Julian Lage stuff. But yeah, hopefully there might be something on the channel worth checking out. There's helix stuff and all that sort of stuff, and lick lessons. So if you wanted to like and subscribe, you could. Cheers.